Now on to one of our other big stories. The king of pop has died.
Michael Jackson, presumed dead, has reportedly been spotted alive at 65. What if his tough childhood, shaped by his father's strict rules and his mother's loving care, held the key to this unbelievable twist? Could it explain the shocking events that followed? Is the king of pop really back? Early life and family hardships. 9 children, a cramped 2-bedroom house, and a relentless pursuit of musical success. This was the backdrop for one of the most famous families in entertainment history. Michael Jackson's childhood was far from typical. Raised in a strict, hard-working household in Gary, Indiana, Michael and his siblings were shaped by the tension between discipline and affection, love and pain. These powerful words, spoken by Michael Jackson when he accepted the Grammy Legend Award in 1993, speak to the heart of his early life. While many people associate his name with music and fame, Michael's childhood was filled with struggles, sacrifice, and a profound sense of loss. He once said, "There were no Christmas, there were no birthdays. It was not a normal childhood." Instead, his family's life revolved around hard work, obedience, and for Michael, the painful process of growing up under the harsh hand of his father, Joe Jackson. In 1949, Joe Jackson married Catherine Screws, and the couple eventually had 10 children over 16 years. They settled in a modest 2-bedroom home in Gary, where Joe worked multiple jobs as a welder and crane operator at U.S. Steel. Though a talented musician and aspiring boxer in his youth, Joe's focus shifted to providing for his ever-growing family. Catherine, a devout Jehovah's Witness, kept the home running and encouraged her children's musical talents. Despite the family's financial struggles, music was always at the center of their lives. Michael later recalled, "We were a family that sang all the time. We would take the furniture out of the living room and dance. We would have a songwriting competition while we washed the dishes." This love of music ran deep, but so did the pressure to succeed. The Jackson children often felt the weight of their father's unyielding expectations. Michael's older brother, Jermaine, described the family's sense of isolation during the holidays. He recalled looking at decorated homes across the street and feeling confused, knowing that their home, like all Jehovah's Witnesses, did not celebrate Christmas. Jermaine wrote, "Our tiny house was the only one without decoration." This sense of difference, of not fitting in, was part of their reality. It was in these moments that Michael's desire to escape through music grew stronger. Music became Michael's escape, but also his destiny. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a lifeline. One day, Tito, Michael's older brother, picked up their father's guitar, even though Joe had forbidden them to touch it. When Tito accidentally broke a string, he feared Joe's anger. But instead of punishment, Joe was impressed by Tito's musical talent. He saw potential. An idea was born. In 1966, the Jackson Brothers was renamed the Jackson 5, and Joe quickly became their manager. Yet success came at a cost. Michael's memoir, Moonwalk, revealed the darker side of his father's ambition. Joe demanded perfection and discipline, often punishing the children for minor mistakes during rehearsals. "I was so afraid of my father, I would vomit when I saw him," Michael later admitted. The fear and the beatings were a regular part of his life. Michael once recalled hearing his mother scream, "Joe, you're gonna kill him, stop it." Joe, in his own defense, denied the abuse. "I didn't beat him," he said in a 2009 interview. Everyone spanked their kids when they did wrong, but not beat. However, Michael's memories told a different story, a strict father who demanded perfection at any cost. Despite the strictness, Catherine's love and nurturing nature balanced out the harshness of Joe's approach. Michael once spoke fondly of her encouragement, saying she was the emotional anchor of the family. But even Catherine couldn't shield her children from the pain caused by their father's relentless ambition. Tragedy struck early in the Jackson household with the death of Michael's twin brother, Brandon, shortly after birth. The loss left a lasting emotional scar on the family, particularly on Michael. Though he never spoke openly about it, the absence of Brandon was a constant reminder of the fragility of life, further complicating the already complex family dynamic. Through it all, the Jackson children, and especially Michael, pushed forward. The combination of strict discipline, nurturing love, and a burning desire to succeed drove them to become musical legends. Michael's career, shaped by his childhood struggles, would eventually take him to unimaginable heights. But as he would later say, the cost of that success was high. I cannot recreate that part of my life, nor would I change any part of my life. Michael Jackson's rise to fame wasn't just the result of raw talent. It was the result of an upbringing that was as tough as it was loving, marked by both sacrifice and ambition, pain and triumph. The Jackson 5 and breakthrough to fame. The Jackson 5's journey from humble beginnings to worldwide fame is a story of grit, determination, and incredible talent. What started as a local talent show act in Gary, Indiana, quickly transformed into one of the most iconic groups in music history. At the heart of this journey was Michael Jackson, whose remarkable voice and stage presence helped propel the group to success, and whose solo career would eventually eclipse even the family's collective stardom. In 1964, the Jackson brothers' musical journey began with a simple accident. Tito, one of the older brothers, was playing with their father's guitar when he accidentally broke a string. Impressed by Tito's ability to play, Joe Jackson bought him his own guitar. Soon, Tito, Jermaine, and Jackie formed a small group with 5-year-old Michael playing the congas. By 1965, Michael's childhood friends, Rayno Jones and Milford Height joined, adding keyboards and drums to the mix. The family's passion for music grew, and by August 1965, Marlon joined the group with his tambourine, and the name The Jackson 5 was born, suggested by a family friend, Evelyn LaHaye. The group started performing at local schools, talent shows, and theaters in Gary and the Chicago area, gaining attention and experience. Their big break came in 1966 when the Jackson 5 won their first talent show at Theodore Roosevelt High School in Gary. Michael, even at age 8, was already stealing the spotlight with his performance of Robert Parker's Barefootin'. By the following year, the group was performing at prestigious venues like Chicago's Regal Theater and Harlem's Apollo Theater, winning competitions at both. The Apollo win on August 13, 1967, marked a pivotal moment in their journey, and soon after, they caught the attention of Gladys Knight, who believed in their potential. Although Motown initially rejected their demo tape, a second chance arrived when Bobby Taylor, who had been blown away by Michael's performance, sent the boys to Detroit for an audition at Motown's headquarters. This moment was the turning point. Motown's legendary founder, Berry Gordy, who had previously refused to sign any more kid acts, saw the raw talent in the Jackson 5 and immediately signed them to a 1-year contract in 1968. Once signed, the Jackson 5's career skyrocketed under Motown's powerful marketing machine. Their first single, I Want You Back, was released in 1969 and quickly became a chart-topping smash. The song marked the beginning of an era where the Jackson 5 would dominate the charts, with their catchy tunes and Michael's undeniable charm. The group's debut album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, hit stores in December 1969, capitalizing on Motown's PR push, which even claimed that Diana Ross had discovered the group. Motown's savvy promotion helped the Jackson 5 land appearances on major TV shows like The Ed Sullivan Show and The Hollywood Palace. Michael, barely 11 years old, was already being hailed as a star. Their massive success was further solidified by a string of hits like ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There, making them the first act in history to have their first 4 singles hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. As the Jackson 5 became Motown's top act, Michael's unique talent started to shine even brighter. In 1971, at just 13 years old, Michael launched his solo career with the release of Got to Be There. The song became a hit, and his solo success continued with tracks like Rockin' Robin and I Wanna Be Where You Are. But it wasn't just about the group anymore. Michael's voice and persona were becoming increasingly impossible to ignore. While the Jackson 5's popularity surged, there were struggles behind the scenes. As the group's contracts and creative direction became a point of tension with Motown, Joe Jackson began negotiating with other labels to secure better deals for his sons. By 1975, the Jackson 5 made a bold move to Epic Records, seeking more control over their music and higher royalties. Jermaine chose to stay with Motown, and Randy, the youngest brother, replaced him. Under their new label, the group rebranded as The Jacksons and began to experiment with their sound. Their first album under Epic, Destiny, 1978, featured the smash hit Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground, written by Michael and Randy. This new sound was a departure from their earlier Motown hits, showcasing a more mature, disco-inspired style that resonated with fans worldwide. But it was clear that Michael was destined for even greater things. By the 1980s, his solo career had taken off with the release of Thriller, an album that would go on to become the best-selling album of all time. The Jacksons continued to make music, but Michael's soaring solo career, combined with the friction within the group, marked the beginning of the end for the Jackson 5 era. The Jackson 5's journey from local talent shows to Motown stardom is a testament to their hard work, resilience, and incredible talent, especially Michael, whose star would only continue to rise. Despite the challenges, their story remains one of the most remarkable in music history: the transformation. In 1978, Michael Jackson made a bold move by starring alongside Diana Ross in The Wiz, a reimagined version of The Wizard of Oz featuring black actors. The film didn't just introduce Jackson to new audiences, it also earned him his first Grammy nomination for his performance on Ease On Down the Road. This marked the beginning of his journey away from being just a teen idol and toward becoming a global superstar. The pivotal moment came in 1979 with the release of Off the Wall, Michael's first solo album under Epic Records. Produced by the legendary Quincy Jones, the album was a massive success, propelling Michael into the spotlight as a solo artist. With hits like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, Off the Wall showcased Jackson's unique energy and versatility, blending disco, R&B, and pop in a way that set new standards in the industry. The album sold over 20 million copies worldwide and earned Michael his first Grammy for Best R&B Male Vocal Performance. But despite its success, Michael felt snubbed when Off the Wall didn't receive more Grammy nominations, especially for Album of the Year. This disappointment fueled his determination to make an even bigger statement with his next album. That statement came in 1982 with the release of Thriller. It wasn't just an album, it was a cultural phenomenon. With Thriller, Michael took everything he had learned from Off the Wall and pushed it to new heights. He collaborated once again with Quincy Jones, but this time the stakes were higher. The result was an album that redefined pop music, featuring iconic tracks like Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller. The album was a worldwide smash, selling more than 65 million copies and winning an astounding 8 Grammy Awards in 1984, including Album of the Year. For Michael, Thriller wasn't just about the music, it was about breaking barriers. One of the most iconic moments in music history came when Jackson debuted his trademark moonwalk during a performance of Billie Jean at Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever. This TV special, celebrating Motown's 25th anniversary, captured Jackson's electrifying performance and cemented his place as the king of pop. The moonwalk became his signature move, and it was here that Michael truly transitioned from a talented artist to a global cultural icon. The performance wasn't just about music, it was about creating a moment that would be etched in pop culture forever. Thriller wasn't just about breaking sales records, it also broke down racial barriers in the music industry. The music video for Billie Jean became one of the first to be played regularly on MTV, a platform that had historically been slow to embrace black artists. Michael's presence on MTV helped change the face of music television, making it a space where artists of all backgrounds could shine. By 1984, Michael had already been crowned the King of Pop, a title that only grew stronger with each new achievement. The Victory Tour with his brothers that year was a huge success, but Michael was already a star in his own right, with his own career taking precedence. The following year, he co-wrote We Are the World with Lionel Richie, a charity anthem that raised millions for famine relief in Africa. In the years that followed, Jackson kept breaking new ground. His album Bad, released in 1987, produced 5 chart-topping hits, including the title track and Man in the Mirror, while the music video for Leave Me Alone addressed the growing tabloid scrutiny around his personal life. It was around this time that Jackson started retreating into his Neverland Ranch, a place that would become synonymous with his eccentricities. But even as rumors swirled about his reclusive lifestyle, Michael remained at the top of the pop world. Michael's dominance continued with 1991's Dangerous, which featured a new sound thanks to the influence of New Jack Swing producer Teddy Riley. The album was another commercial success, solidifying Jackson's place at the top of the pop music hierarchy. His follow-up, History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, 1995, showcased his ability to blend hits with new material, while also marking a point of reflection on his remarkable career. While the Jackson 5 were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997, Michael was also inducted as a solo artist in 2001, a testament to his immense influence on music and culture. From his game-changing albums Off the Wall and Thriller to his groundbreaking performances, Michael Jackson's journey from a teen star to the king of pop was nothing short of legendary. Is Michael Jackson still alive in 2024? The question of whether Michael Jackson is still alive in 2024 continues to spark curiosity and debate. Since his sudden death in 2009, rumors and conspiracy theories have flooded the internet, with many believing that the king of pop faked his death to escape the pressures of fame. Could Michael Jackson really still be out there? How his legacy fuels this ongoing speculation. On June 25, 2009, the world was shocked when news broke that Michael Jackson had passed away at the age of 50. His death was ruled a homicide caused by an overdose of the drug propofol, administered by his doctor, Conrad Murray. But was it really as simple as that? Almost immediately, people began questioning the circumstances of his death, suggesting that Jackson may have staged it to get away from the relentless media attention and personal struggles. As soon as Jackson passed away, rumors started circulating. Some believed he had faked his death to escape financial troubles, while others thought he was just tired of the constant scrutiny. Was Jackson's death more than just a tragic accident? Theories gained even more traction when people claimed to have spotted the singer in different places around the world, suggesting that he wasn't really gone. These theories have been fueled by the emotional connection his fans have to him, with many simply refusing to believe that their idol was no longer alive. Fans who support the idea that Jackson faked his death point to various pieces of evidence that they believe support the theory. For example, some report seeing Jackson in places like Brazil or London long after his funeral. Others point to hidden messages in his music videos or suggest that mysterious symbols in his work hint that he's still alive. Could these be real clues or just wishful thinking? During his memorial service, some fans thought they saw signs that Jackson might be alive. Was this simply coincidence or something more? And with social media making it easier than ever to share these theories, it's no wonder these ideas continue to spread. Social media is turning these theories into something much bigger. The media also played a huge role in shaping the public's view of Jackson's death. The endless coverage, sensational headlines, and 24-hour news cycle only added to the confusion. As conspiracy theories grew, outlets continued to run stories, often adding new layers to the mystery. Social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube gave fans a space to share sightings, videos, and evidence, keeping the idea of Jackson's survival alive. The idea that Michael Jackson could still be alive speaks to something deeper, the bond between an artist and their fans. His music and message connected with millions of people around the world. It's not just about the music, it's about the legacy he created. Jackson's influence was immense, and the thought of him still being out there gives fans a sense of hope and connection to something bigger than themselves. Whether or not the conspiracy theories are true, one thing is clear. Michael Jackson's legacy lives on. His music continues to inspire, and his impact on culture is undeniable. Perhaps his greatest achievement is the way his art continues to shape the world, keeping his spirit alive in the hearts of fans everywhere. The question remains, is Michael Jackson still alive in 2024? While theories and rumors swirl, the truth is his influence will never fade. A legend can never truly be gone. Their legacy lives on forever. What do you think about this shocking sighting of Michael Jackson? Could he really be alive at 65? Or is it just another wild rumor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates on this incredible story. Thanks for watching.